Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going on a quest, not for gold or glory, but for something far more valuable, mastering the R programming language. And we're going to do it by learning from our mistakes.
Yes. If you're a programmer who's tried to pick up R, I bet this little message gives you flashbacks. But today, we're going to look at this differently. This isn't a failure. It's a signpost on a heroic journey.
So, our quest is to tame the power of R, especially for something like biostatistics. Our first task? It seems so simple. We just need to create a sequence of numbers to set up a plot. A basic first step for pretty much any data analysis.
But bam! Right out of the gate, our hero, that's you, by the way, hits a wall. And this wall is guarded by what I like to call the gatekeepers, R's incredibly strict black and white rules of syntax. These are the errors that just stop your code dead in its tracks.
Okay, so here's your first challenge. You try to assign a variable, and you want to add a helpful little note to yourself about what it does. I mean, this is totally standard stuff in other languages like Python or Java, right?
And denied. Syntax error. The gatekeeper slams the gate shut. So what happened? Well, R doesn't know you're just writing a note. It sees the word creates and thinks it's some kind of command it doesn't recognize. The secret key to get past this gatekeeper, it's just a simple hashtag. The moment you add that, you're signaling to R, hey, ignore everything after this. And just like that, the gatekeeper is happy and the path forward is clear. All right, you're feeling good now. You beat the first gatekeeper, so you move on to the next challenge, a pretty basic calculation on a sequence of numbers. But then, a tiny slip of the finger, one extra keystroke, is all it takes to summon the next gatekeeper.
And there it is. The oldest enemy of programmers everywhere, the mismatched parentheses. R is a real stickler for this. It demands perfect balance. That one extra little character just breaks the rule, and everything grinds to a halt. So, by deleting that one extra character, you restore balance to the universe, or at least to your code, and you defeat the gatekeeper. This really hammers home a core lesson about R. It demands absolute, total precision.
Okay, so you've learned how to deal with the gatekeepers of syntax, but now you face a much sneakier enemy, the deceiver. This is when your code actually runs, but a little warning message pops up, hinting that something's not quite right. So you try to make a sequence, say, from 10 down to a couple of numbers, like 2 times 3. You hit enter, and hey, look at that, it seems to work. You get a list of numbers back. So we're good, right? What's the big deal? Well, the problem is hiding in this sneaky warning message. R is basically whispering to you, hey, I ran the code, but I hit a weird spot, so I just kind of guessed what you wanted. This might not be the result you were looking for. And here is where the deception is revealed. Check this out. You gave R a vector with 2 numbers in it, 2 times and 3. But R just looked at it, picked the first number, 2, and completely ignored the 3. The deceiver let your code run, but it gave you the wrong answer. So sneaky. You've passed the trials of syntax. You've unmasked the warnings of the deceiver. And now you face the final boss of our quest, an error of pure logic. This is also called a semantic error. So you try to call this function sub with what looks like a totally simple subtraction. You check it over. The syntax is clean, the parentheses are perfectly balanced, there are no warnings, it looks absolutely perfect. It should work. But it fails, and the error message is your only clue. It's like a riddle from the final boss. R is telling you, hey, this sub function needs something called an X argument, and you didn't give me one. I can't proceed. So how do you solve this logic puzzle? You have to open up the debugging spellbook. It's actually a pretty simple 4-step spell. First, you read the clue in the error message. Second, you figure out which function is causing the trouble. Third, you use R's built-in help to look up what that function actually needs. And finally, you give it the right ingredients. And just like that, by conquering the trials of syntax, warnings, and logic, you've finally done it. You've defeated the final boss, and you get to claim the treasure you've been seeking this entire time. Now, the treasure isn't some single magic command. It's a deep understanding of R's core strength, something called vectorized arithmetic. This is R's superpower. It's the ability to do one operation on a whole list of numbers all at once, not one by one. And that is what makes R so incredibly fast and powerful for statistics.
You see, this whole quest has taught you a really powerful philosophy we can call structured fumbling. It's this idea that you actually learn best not by trying to be perfect, but by making mistakes, figuring out why they happened, and then fixing them. Every single error you conquered has become a lesson that's now burned into your brain.
So remember this. Every error message you see in R isn't a wall, it's a map. It's a clue that's guiding you on your personal quest to master this language. Now that you're armed with this knowledge, there's really only one question left. What quest will you conquer next?